Hi, Ed Golod, Straight Talk. Today, why use case selling is number one. Well, let's start with the startup's foundation is technology. Everybody has technology. Most of us, if all of us, have brilliant technology. We know that, and we want to communicate that. But brilliant technology is not what people are buying. Though we love it and it's our world, it overtakes where we should really be. Most startups have spent years building their platforms and apps. So it's hard for us to shed this. It's hard for us to not want to sell this concept, this idea, this solution. It's part of our DNA. And you really have to put a harness around it or a throttle and control it and take it down a couple of notches. The use case is what we're selling, because the use case is where the value is. And the customer, the prospect, whoever we're dealing with, they want the value. They really don't want the tech. Even though they know they're buying it, they want to know what the value will be and what the tech will do for them. So let's talk about what a use case is. Number one, it is not a case study. Case study is very simple. I sold this to a company. They used it. Here's what it did. Here's their ROI. That's a case study. A use case is the value that the company has, you being a startup, and where it fits within a usage model, depending on what industry. Is it an aviation industry? Is it a retail industry? Is it a manufacturing industry? And within that industry, what segments of that industry want to use it? It could be hard manufacturing, could be light manufacturing. It could be medical device manufacturing. It's very specific. So where your product fits into that market and submarket is where the use is, the consumption. And when they consume it, who consumes it? What type of executive? What type of team uses it? Is it an R&D team? Is it a business team? Is it a finance team? Is it a development team? It's highly specific. So when you're doing use case selling, it's an intimate way to talk to your audience as if it's a true one-on-one. Imagine they're in the room with you. You're talking to somebody who's an executive level. They might be running a laboratory. They might be having a problem with budgeting of equipment within their laboratory. They may be having pressures in release of products coming out of the laboratory, and your platform is built just for that. So instead of selling them your lab automation system, you're selling them the use case of what you have for their laboratory. You translate that into business outcome or value. You pitch that to the CEO, CFO, EVP, VP, down to the director. Now, your competitors are not doing that. They're selling their benefits and their features, or even their features and their value, but you're becoming a specialist and you're honing down on that use case. If you ask your prospects or customers how they prefer to buy, and you say to them, do you prefer to buy a demo? Do you prefer to buy a feature base? Do you prefer to buy a use case? They'll say, yes. Tell me the use case for how this fits. Because the people you're selling to have to sell it internally. They have to sell it to the people that finance it, sign for it, and the buying group. And explaining a use case of how you fit specifically within a market, submarket, and their type of company and their title of the people in that company makes it a lot easier. Use case selling. Number one, once you get it, you never go back. Ed Golod, Straight Talk. Thanks for stopping by.